Well, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxjar, on the show this evening. It's the one and only Southside and the legend that is Big Stevie. How are we doing, gentlemen?
All right, Ox. All right, listeners. And I'll hand you over to my wingman, Southside. The Dream Team are back.
Aye, good evening. Always good to be on with the legend, Big Stevie, your good self. And good evening to everyone listening in this evening.
How are you, big man?
I don't know about this legend, carry on. He's giving me a bit of a status here. You know me, legend.
sorry, I misread the script.
I thought the listeners would have picked up on that and probably thought, aye, legend, more like legend. No, you like food, Stevie, no? I like.
Like food, mate? You see him as Sammy?
Oh, easy, by the way. Can I just say, by the way, all the listeners, by the way, the food was absolutely fantastic, done by Rangers Kale. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
sure. 7 courses I had.
I think I counted more than that, I've got to be honest with you.
Aye, that was just these puddings, wasn't it?
No,
but I must admit, from start to finish, the night it was organised, everybody that turned up get showed where to go and where to be seated. The food was amazing on the night. Also the speakers, and I think everybody that attended couldn't be to be happy, saying they thoroughly enjoyed the whole night.
Yep.
Thanks very much, Stevie.
I can't disagree with that. I was looking for things to moan about so I could get tore into Rangers Radio, but there you go. I must admit, as Southside says, you took to your table, and it was brilliant to see, get names to faces and meet the people, and it was absolutely fantastic night. Of course, big DJ Gordon Smith and big Haley, they all spoke well. Well organised night, good for charity. Everybody's a winner. Have we got a total yet, Ox? Have we got a total?
£2,000. It's gone up because we're still getting money in. We'll get a final total. It's approximately £2,000 to both the charities, mate. Yeah.
£2,000 to both the charities, so £4,000.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Everybody at Rangers Radio take a bow. That was absolutely fantastic. Brilliant.
I mean, listen, you two lads done your bit, and I thought you stole the show, Biggie, when somebody did dig at the drum. I don't know how that happened. I thought that was comedy gold, Biggie.
I know how it happened, all right, by the way. I know how it happened. It's the Rabbi Burns Brigade did it again, I'll tell you right now, and nobody's pulling a wool over my eyes. When Big DJ had a pop at the drum, I was up there like a meerkat, by the way.
It was funny, Southside, wasn't it?
Yep, right on cue. As soon as the drum was mentioned, he was up half his feet growling. Aye, quite right and all. But aye, it was funny, comedy gold. It was a good part of the night. A lot of people mentioned that. It was just right on cue, big man.
and what about you? How's the adoption gone for old Davy, Stevie?
Oh, by the way, what a total gentleman. That man could sit with me in Myra Hinley anytime. Old Davy was fantastic. Good old Blue Nose told me a few stories, and it was really fantastic to meet a guy. And just let me tell you, by the way, he must have fell out of Slaters. He was absolutely immaculate. Shirt, tie, just like me got to court. Absolutely fantastic.
I thought he had the Burt Reynolds look about him, Stevie.
By the way, can I ask the question? Who's Jaffa's Taylor, by the way? He came in like Archie McPherson with a tweed gear on. By the way, you're a celebrity coming in here that was a bull Jaffa. I was looking for a crocodile for Seville.
He made an entrance. Let's just say Jaffa made an entrance. Is that fair, Southside?
Aye, windswept when he came in, wasn't he? Aye, him and Elvis came in at the same time. Just about, if you noticed that.
I did, mate.
Your big pal.
Aye, I did, mate. I did. But listen, thanks to everybody, and obviously people missed out, and hopefully if we do another one, people can get the chance to go. But it was fantastic to get to see everybody again. Fantastic to raise so much money for good causes. And fantastic to hear 3 Rangers greats telling stories. Yeah.
Aye. Can I also say, by the way, it was good to meet Bully and his big boy. I'll tell you that. They're cracking people, by the way, really good. It was good to meet them and all. And he's just talking about the Rangers players, man. See, when you think about Big Haley and Italy and places he'd played, and people he's played with, Butch Wilkins and guys like that he mentioned, my God, when I look back, what careers these boys had, no? You know, my mum used to fancy Big Gordon Smith. I didn't want to tell him right enough, old Cathy.
My mum still does that.
How she box.
Aye.
It was good to see James for Tennessee as well.
Yeah,
Fair play to him. Fair
Had
play to him.
a
No
chat with
Mr.
him.
Do, has he? No Mr. Do.
No. And also, I met Blue Star,
Yep.
which I met him, so I was delighted to meet Blue Star because he's a regular caller on the show. So James has promised fridge magnets, so we'll wait and see if they arrive.
Aye. James is a very nice fella, by the way, very polite spoken, doesn't drink, an absolute gentleman, a guy, and fair play to him and guys like Blue Star, the listeners on the show that did turn up, absolutely brilliant. Thanks a lot, lads.
Yeah, and obviously the seating plan, it was great thought. Because James was such a nice guy, we kept him away if he used to.
Oh, by the way, Ross was. I spent time with Ross and his good lady, and I can't remember the other two, to be honest, but they were lovely. I can't remember their names, but they were lovely, and it was nice to spend time with Ross and
Ross. Good
their
bear,
top bowler.
good bear.
Yeah, aye, he was sitting with us in Hadji, so I thoroughly enjoyed his company as well.
And can I just say, by the way, young GB, that was good to tie up with GB again. And what about Port Bear? I mean, what about that spray tan? Is that EasyJet orange? What kind of spray tan is that?
I was EasyJet. I don't know if I would go that deep, mate. But I would say more a clearer salt colour. What about you, Southside?
Oh, I thought he was more like a blood orange looking like at one point when the light was on him.
A blood orange.
Just when the light hit him.
He his halls mixed up. He thought he was going to Crawford Street, Stevie.
Oh, dear, aye. And there's no difference, 40 Arabi Burns and 40 William III.
He likes his spray tans and his 10-minute holidays to sport, doesn't he?
Aye. I'll tell you, one glimmer when I looked at her, I thought, is that Ryland? Oh, no, it's Port.
Oh dear. Right, listen, well, once again, thanks to everybody that turned up. Thanks to you two boys who helped make this Cecil night, along with your friends and families, I may add, yeah. We really appreciate your support and your big mucker as well, Alec Black, Stevie. We appreciate that.
Aye,
and
Alex.
And the support,
yep.
And the support that your family gives us Southside, we really appreciate that, because without you two helping me and all the other people involved, it doesn't work.
Aye, no, listen, unfortunately for the troops on the night, Alec Black was double booked. You know, he was actually with all the legends, and then he was in the director's box the next day. You know, I was raging, so I was eating a mince pie, and he was having a prawn sandwich, by the way. But look, to everybody that turned up, and by the way, I've got a wee confession to make, by the way, live on air. I've left the banner. Who's got the banner? Is the banner still up?
The Rangers Radio banner is in my bedroom.
Oh my God. To think of places that's been and it's in your bedroom now.
It's back to where it started, Stevie.
Aye. But aye, thanks to everybody that's donated through us guys and everything else. It was a fantastic night, and hopefully next year we can even raise more money if we're going to go for it again. But Ox, let's be honest, that's what 10,500 last year, 4,000 this year in Rising. What an absolute! You can't ask for any more for the boys off this station. Brilliant.
Aye, says it all. It's not about us, it's about others. South side.
Yeah.
Aye, 100%. As you know, this station goes out free. We don't get any sponsorship. We get nothing for it. We come on and talk about the Rangers for a love of them and the passion that we've got for the club, and we hope people enjoy it. And the fact that there is people out there that did send in donations that couldn't go as well, and it's all helped to raise that wee bit extra money. And the totals that we've raised in the last 2 years has been really good. Ox, considering, you know, we've just done it ourselves, and then obviously with Erskine. And aye, it was a good amount for the wee night that we done.
Can I just give a wee shout out on the Facebook family, Rangers Radio family, because I see most of their chats most nights, and I'll tell you what, they're a great wee community on it, and they all look after each other, and well done to them all that sent donations in. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to ask you 2 questions, and it's not a quiz. All right.
Okay, on you go.
Right. With the 3 legends that were there with us on Saturday night, I want you to take a bit of time and rate them, and I want to ask you why. First, second, and third, date in reverse order. And then we'll crack on and we'll talk about Gaza, because Gaza was at Ibrox today, and if people want to phone in and give their memories of Gaza. Now, I'll ask you also the second question, is Gaza a Rangers legend? But we'll take the first question first, give you time to think. So the 3 players that were there on Saturday night, Southside, rate them in reverse order and tell us why.
You want me to do third first?
Yes.
Third, I would probably put Gordon Smith in there. And although he had a great understanding with Big Derek when he came, and he was an intelligent player, and we have spoke about Gordon Smith on the show and clubs he's been at and his goal return. He was a forward-thinking midfield player that got himself into the box. Probably similar to like an Ian Durrant that we've seen used to burst into midfield, and possibly like Scotty Arfield getting himself in the box. He would play wee 1-2s and then get himself in the box and finish things off. And I think in that order I would have Gordon Smith in third. Ox. And if you want me to go for my second one, or you want Big Stevie to go?
We'll bring in Stevie. Stevie?
Aye, I'll go with Gordon Smith for the third. Aye. Can't remember. What you've got to remember is I'm a wee bit younger than you, no? So I can't really remember a lot about Gordon Smith. But I would place the other 2 players above him for simple reasons, as in they were more fearless than Gordon Smith, you know. But I've no real detail about why I've put him third, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, right. Gordon Smith started at 86 league games for us and scored 35 goals. His first season with the club, 34 league starts, 20 goals. So 20 goals.
Aye, it just showed you he was a goal-scoring midfielder, you know, and today, if you were getting somebody returning A numbers, it'd be priceless, and probably the money you would have to pay for them, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
He missed a penalty in the Cup final, is that right?
No, he missed a chance right at the death, mate, to win the Cup for Brighton. I think he's maybe more famous for that, Southside, then.
Aye, yes, more famous for that, aye.
Smith must score. I think that's the name of the Brighton fanzine, Stevie.
Aye. Mm-hmm. Aye, sure. Did you know hear what I shouted up to him as you read out your Costco card? I'm up there doing Costco. And we were funny enough, we were at the cake bit.
There's a surprise, Southside.
Aye. But I Stevie will be a wee bit at a disadvantage here because he'll probably not have seen much of Big Derek either. So
Aye, he's right.
Second place, we'll go to Stevie first.
Aye, I would go with Big DJ for that kind of reason as well. As a young boy, I know he played in defence. I know and he was fearless. He was brilliant when he had Big DJ. You know, he was always a big, heavy set player for me. He carried a bit of it. Near that, you've got to remember. I'm starting to go then, just as he's ready to go. You know, so I think he was carrying a wee bit of beef, if I can remember right, but. I feel as big player and Barry McGregor. You look back at the videos and that coming on as a young boy and scoring in the cup final and stuff like that. You know, it's just dreams come true. And some of his stuff that he was talking about the other night about his family and the 8 brothers and coming from Dundee and trains and buses and planes and trains and automobiles to get down there to go to training and stuff. It's a fantastic story. I lived the dream, eh? He's definitely lived the dream of Biggin, you know, and the Cup Winners' Cup, you know, stuff like that, you know.
Oh, controversy here, Southside.
for me,
No, for Stevie.
well, I can understand why, because you'll remember me or Mark Caitlin. I missed a good bit of Derek Johnston, obviously, at the start as well. But growing up, Big DJ was my man. Davy Cooper had came along, and maybe later on when Derek left, I had a wee soft spot for Davy Cooper. But Big Derek, for me, played just about every position possible for the Rangers. There a long, long time. Commander in the air, probably the best header of the ball I think I've ever seen. Just been heard boys talking about it before. The goal against Wales, that one just for the edge of the 18-yard box, you know, that bulleted in by was it Di Davis or something, I think, back then. Not sure. But Big Derek is a Rangers player. He was phenomenal. We Tommy McLean would just put the ball in and Big Derek would just rise, and he scored all types of goals. But it wasn't just for the head. Big Derek was good on the ground, Docs. You'll remember that. He could bring the ball down and play. He had this knack that he wanted to play centre-half for some reason, and that probably cost him in Argentina in '78 when he went to the World Cup. Big Derek should have been playing at number 9. Let's not be kidded. He'd scored a phenomenal amount of goals. But for some reason, when he went there, he just didn't get picked. But he liked to say that he liked centre-back as well. He said he could read the game. Being a centre-forward, he could read, obviously knew where the other centre-forward would be going. But for me, Big Derek, I would always remember him as a number 9 for Glasgow Rangers.
Am I right in saying he scored 9, Hovan? With Kenny Watson, Thunderbolt.
Yeah, he just touched the BC die.
What a goal that was. I mean, many players would have put their heat towards that, eh?
Here we go, Derek Johnson. 500 out of 5s. 555. Games. 211 goals. No bad going, eh? Most successful season was obviously our league campaigns. We won trebles in 1977, 78, 33 starts in the league, 25 goals. 75, 76, which I actually thought he'd scored more league goals, actually. 32 starts, 16 goals. I think he played more games at centre back that season. Consistent goal scorer. His best season was the 77, 78, where he had a grand total of 38 goals and 47 starts, Stevie.
Listen, I can't really touch on. I never seen him playing a lot. You know, I seen him just as I was going, and under John Gregg and that, and things were all changing as soon as he was about to come in. But the videos that you see him in the past, mate, there's not a lot of people would put their head with Big DJ, but his. You know, he's been a great servant to the club. 555 games, and I mean, what more could you ask for? How many Scotland caps did the Big DJ have?
I'll soon tell you, mate. I'll just give me 1 second and I'll tell you. But
He scored all types of goals, but as well, you know, I remember, was it Forfar or was it Motherwell in the Cup at Hampden? We were 2-0 done, and he had the hand in that. Big Peters would kick out and twisted it on and thumped it in the roof of the net, got us back in the game.
We've done that a couple of times. I mean, we were getting beat before and we beat them in extra time. And Hearts in a Motherwell, 2-0 down. We come back and beat them 3-2.
Aye, that's right. And also, he scored a goal before 3 o'clock, as they say, in the final against Hearts. But Big Derek was an all-round player. He had physique. And like you say, he wasn't a Rangers supporter. He was for Dundee and he got the chance to come down, and Big Jock seen something in him. And at the age, he put him into the team and in the all-day games. It just was testament that he had a lot of belief in him at that age. The manager, you know.
14 caps, mate, 2 goals, Stevie.
Aye, 14.
Please, I've got a difference in opinion. I mean, I've got to say that as much as I like Mark Hateley, I thought Mark Hateley was a fabulous player for us. He comes second to Derek Johnston. I think it's not an insult, but I would go with Southside. I've got DJ at the top and Hateley second, but you've got Hateley at the top, Stevie, because you maybe more fond of him because you grew up with him, yeah?
That's the bottom line, Rox. That's just that. It's just the era. It's just when I started going and getting a grip of really football, and you know, Mark Hateley for me, I'll always remember the game at Parkhead where he signed him, and what a bit of Walter Smith's got to take a big bow there, you know, for what he done. He brought Hateley back for that game, and he was in Celtic's heat, man. He did. He honestly, Walter Smith, what a great bit of business. Brought him back, and Big Hateley just got stuck right in about him. And I think Hateley got sent off that day, if I can remember. But what a move for Walter Smith and Big Hateley, man. Off. He gets stuck right into him, by the way. And the header against Aberdeen, come on. We're talking about Derek Johnson header on the ball, but what about that header for Big Hateley that day? You know, Mark Walters chips that floating boy, and the big cheese gets bang, good night Vienna. And look at that Copeland Road, man. They were all gone tonto.
That would be up there. Was maybe the greatest. I mean, obviously, that goal that Derek scored was for Scotland, but that would be up there. Mark Hateley's header against Aberdeen, because of the importance, isn't it? I would only think that maybe Butcher's header against Aberdeen up in Pittodrie in the northern area is the only rankles against it, Southside.
You can't probably the prestige of the game and all that. It's what you'll be fondly remembered for. Same as scoring against them at Celtic Park. It was a New Year time. I think he scored the first, and Mikhailichenko get 2-0 leg. I think that day. But Big Hateley turned up in the big games, you know. It took him a while to get going. He'd probably say he'd play Ellen Road. I mean, there's another example. Straight away. I mean, no many players would have thought of that, and he's just seen it and he thought, I'll take a chance. He used to say, if you don't shoot, you can't score. But Mark played, obviously, Italy, and played with some great players in that team, and is famous over in AC Milan for the header that beat Inter. Same as when he played at Monaco. I think he played there with Ray Wilkins for a time, or else Wilkins. Glenn Hoddle was certainly there. So he's been about, and he's played at big clubs, and he learnt the continental style, and he learnt to look after himself and stuff. And when he came back to Rangers, he did say it would take him a while to get going. And Graham Souness, I believe, says to him, don't worry about it. Once you get going, you'll be on fire. And Graham decided to play him when he was still getting a wee bit booze here and there, and people were unsure of him. But Graham understood that once Mark Hateley got fit and get back playing, he'd come back for a long-term injury, that he would do the business, and he certainly did.
He did.
I didn't realise, sorry Stevie, I didn't realise the Saturday night that he hadn't played for 2 years before we signed him. It was a bit of a risk, wasn't it?
Aye, it was. But Southside says, obviously, Souness knew the circles that they were on, with playing abroad and stuff like that. But listen, I was just about to say to Southside there, I love bringing Ellen Road up, because a certain Rangers radio pundit got one put in his chin that night for not on his seat when the Teddy Bear scored.
Yes, certainly did.
Would you like to elaborate, Ro?
I picture the scene.
Oh, did you get your ticket through my jails?
No, I haven't actually. I got my ticket through Gary Kelly, who played for Leeds in the Republic of Ireland.
There you go. Yep. Like to fill the listeners in what happened that night, Ox.
Well, I was sitting just about the halfway line, about 4 rows in front of the director's box at Ellen Road. Yeah, I think I've told this story before, and I was with people who were locals for Leeds, and I didn't think, I thought the best chance of the result was nothing each. Being honest, it never entered my head that we would score. And Big Hateley scored, and well, you kind of contain yourself though.
Certainly not.
And I jumped up, and let's just say I took a couple of rapids and a dullion right in the chin. Cost a wee bit of stramash, but I'll get calmed down. But what I will say, when the game finished, to a man, the shoot were on, and wished us all the best. I don't know what happened to my about, if I'm being honest, Stevie.
Definitely no. But 10 out of 10 for you going anyway, mate, and getting in there, because I remember the English press in that game, they did not give Rangers a chance. Bearing in mind, Leeds United were champions and they went on a run of games. I think they broke the English record for the run of games. And to the famous Glasgow Rangers went down there and listen, we played some lovely football that night. That second goal, if you watch the football for Durant, the wee flick, and wee flick for Big Hateley, and it goes out, and then the cross goes out and bump McCoist. Absolutely fantastic football. And see that goal Big Hateley scored right at the start of the game? You see him looking round and see him looking where the keeper is, and then he just bangs it. So it would have been hard for any better it was there to contain yourself, let's be honest.
I was all right when the second goal was in. It was the first one that caused me the problems.
The things you need to do, we've all had to do it, go into the other ends to see the famous Glasgow Rangers from time to time, and it gets a bit harum-scarum. Sometimes you've got to take the odd one for the team, haven't you? But, what a night.
I don't mind the odd one. There was a few sneaky ones. I know that.
But you know what it's like. We're set up for that, and like you say, Stevie, I think they'd went something close to 18 months undefeated in England at that time.
Yep.
At home.
The media never gave us a chance. They thought the result at Ibrox was a sort of freak result. When we go to Ellen Road, that would be the party over. It was only a matter. I mean, look at the fantastic team they had. Strachan, and you had your man, the French man from Man United. Would you call him again?
Cantona.
Eric Cantona. They had a great team. Big boy Witherell at the back. Witherell was it, and then they had the
Rod Wallace no come on for them. Rod
Wallace, aye.
Rod Wallace scored the goal.
Aye, he came on, didn't he, and scored, didn't he?
Aye, yep.
But aye, listen, see that night, I remember coming out of Ibrox that night in the home game, and I must admit, we were talking about it, 2 or 3 as we were walking up the road, and I was like, that was unbelievable, the night in Ibrox. And I know a lot of people harp on about certain games and that, and a lot of people going about Dynamo Kiev game at Ibrox. Dynamo Kiev game was only about the last 10 minutes, because most is, let's not be kidded, but we were all sitting there biting our nails that night, until about the last 10 minutes, and then the whole ground erupted. But that Leeds United game, I mean, even the Govan stand were going potty that night, and that, the whole ground was electric. And I thought the atmosphere that night, I came out and I thought, wow, that's close to, that night could be really close to the games against them at Ibrox, I thought, for atmosphere at times, because I thought that night the whole place was rocking, and we were talking about it, and I think that had been the best atmosphere I'd heard in Ibrox, probably outside of playing them for a long time, going back to when that game was played, Ox.
The 2 games that were talked about there for Hateley, that Aberdeen game, and plus that Leeds United game, will live fond in the memory.
Yeah. But didn't they think that back when Gary McAllister scored the own goal? What a goal that was.
I wonder what price she would have gave us then when we went 1-0 down to go through, if you're being honest.
It was a mistake for your keeper, wasn't it? Big Lukage, was it? Lukage, wasn't it?
He got the lights in his eyes, they said. Aye, memories, mate, memories.
Off. Tense, man.
You've got me rubbing my jaw.
Well, I would love to buy the guy. I'd love to buy the boys that done it a couple of pies of Bovril. But if you ever come across Big Stevie with a drum, let me know if you put one in Oxley's chin. I'll buy you a pie of Bovril.
Usually I can swerve them. No, I don't know about now, right enough. I could be. Aye, memories. A great night. And by the way, after the game was finished, there was more bears there than you realise, Stevie, if I'm being honest. There was bears kicking about, no?
Aye, sensible bears that never jumped. But anyway, no, listen, I'd have loved it. It would have been brilliant to know how many bears were actually in there, by the way. I mean, there, my Jamie, he was down in Anfield, he was in the Liverpool, and he said, it was like a morgue. He says they got a penalty kick, and they were sitting down watching the penalty. No, it was unreal. He said they got their goal, he said it was rubbish, the atmosphere was crapping among them.
Was that you talk about Liverpool game there, Stevie?
Aye.
I see at Anfield. I mean, I've watched that on the telly. Like we've all watched Anfield on the telly in European nights and that, and they all going about how special the atmosphere is. I didn't think it was anything special when we were doing playing there. Honestly, I mean, we were singing for the vast majority of the game, but I just didn't think that their atmosphere was anything special at all. I was really disappointed. For the amount of stadiums that we've visited over the years, that one certainly will never come back in memory and say that was some night in there and you could hear the fans and it was electric, because it certainly wasn't. And that's what disappointed us, because they're all going about the Anfield atmosphere.
Aye.
But it wasn't that night.
10 out of 10 of the Bears that went down there, because they were excellent and it was good. The Union Bears had a wee pyro thing and all that, and it was really good. You know, we took care of our own, but listen, their atmosphere was crap. I mean, my 16-year-old boy comes back and tells his dad, honestly, I could only get the one ticket, so he went, you know, but he said that wasn't great at all. Well, that just sums it up for me. We are the people. We really are the people, aren't we?
Here. Aye, but aye, my memory's right. So you went for Gordon Smith, Derek Johnson, Mark Hateley. Me and Southside have went for Gordon Smith, Mark Hateley, and Derek Johnson, I think, Southsider.
Yep, aye, and as we've said, we talked about Mark Hateley and his career and stuff, and I just think longevity, what Big Derek done and the type of player he was and the goals that he scored in cup finals and Barca Bear and the age he came into the team. Aye, for me, Big Derek, 2-0 down against Motherwell was a wee stramash in the terrace, and then it get calmed down, and then the Bears come back out. Big Derek scores the first one, flicks it out of the goalie's head, dives in, headers it, and we come back and win 5-3 that day. Just wee things that you remember, scoring big goals in cup finals and stuff. Big Derek's your man, isn't he? He was the number 9 for Glasgow Rangers. Just a pity he wanted to play centre back. And he had the mad pair if you remember, in 78 when they all had them with Souness, Josser Hughes and that. Mad Souness with all the pairums and Ace of Hartford and all that. Mental. But Big Derek should have played. He should have played and he would have scored in that World Cup. I've got no doubt. But no, he shades it for me, I'm afraid. Big Derek's the man.
Doesn't he shade it for me, mate? By a country mile, and that's no slight mark.
No, he does. He wins it hands down for me.
I'm only going to say it takes 2 idiots to outvote a genius. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay, we'll see what the people think. Yeah, we'll get these phone lines opened.
Well, the truth is, they might go for Hateley, because I voted for Big Derek in my greatest ever Rangers 11, and he never made it, and he probably didn't make it because of the age demographics that maybe voted. because Mark Catley got in. So, there you
I suppose if you've done that now, Ryan Hardy might get in it, He's doing well, isn't he? More goals for Plymouth there. We'll get these phone lines open to all right we used to.
Yep. Wire in, get the bells in, let them put their 10 bob in.
Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Aye. Listen, I get why you went with Mark Catley, and as I say, that's no slight in Mark Catley, no slight at all. Okay, right. Yes, mate.
I was just going to say, if it's Del Boy, what can't speak can't lie, right? If you're looking at the stats of the two players, obviously it's Derek Johnson by a mile, no? But the bottom line is, I went with Catley for the simple reason is that's my era. That's when I started becoming, gone for Jock Wallace into Greg and then get into that period and then Soonest Tutor, Lawrence Balborough and David Holmes, and then it just went boom, didn't it? The great ticket chase, and away we go. I mean, that it's just the era you were brought up. I mean, all the old boys will probably come on and tell me I'm drunk, how can you compete? But as I said, if the stats, if it's in black and white and you're reading the two of them, what they've done for Rangers, I think it would be Derek Johnson all day long. But Mark Catley, man, what a wonderful player he was for himself.
No, no denying that, mate. No denying that. As I said, Southside, no slight Mark Catley coming second to Derek Johnson. Right?
No, listen, Mark Catley's played for England. English international. Scored a goal in the Maracana Stadium when the one that John Barnes scored. He was a young boy. He had to come, see him play, make it in the game through his father, who had been a football player, probably harder for players when they're trying to make it. And he did tell a story that Brian Clough says to him, listen, son, you're no for me at Nottingham Forest. When they rejected him, says you'll get my job done at the Co-op because he knows somebody down there, you'll no make it in the game.
That's right.
And he proved them wrong and went on and made it. And, and played abroad, something that Big Derek didn't do in his career, but he spent his career at Rangers and obviously down to Chelsea for a bit, but different paths. But it's not to say if Big Derek probably did get touted at times, maybe in the past, to go down and play for clubs, but he stayed at Rangers, and Mark had that checkered career where he moved about the world and played football, and then he come back and played at Glasgow Rangers and scored some wonderful goals and significant goals for the club and was successful. So, no, but it's just, for me, Big Derek was my hero growing up. Just a guy that scores goals for Rangers, and that's how you're judged as a centre-forward when you play for your club. You're judged on your goals, And see, when you're talking about legends, Ox, I think defining a legend that plays for the club is somebody who's probably got longevity, somebody who's respected the club his whole time he's been there, count his medals and trophies, and when he turns up in big games. And I think that's how I sort of think
How long's longevity? I'll ask you this question. Is Gaza a legend 2.5 years?
I mean, for probably what he did at the club and winning the leagues and cups, he's successful. The only thing he didn't have was the longevity in my eyes. But I could look at it and say, well, did you there's just wee things you could nitpick it, but Gaz's a wonderful football player, one of the best players I've ever seen in my life, allowing me Laudrup to play for Glasgow Rangers. Legend, probably because he's in the 9 in a row team, it was going, he probably is the legend, but to me he was a sensational football player. But it depends on how you define legends. I was asked before by somebody, and I says, when they say John Gregg's the greatest ever Ranger, and somebody counteracted that with saying, in my eyes, Willie Waddle is the greatest ever Ranger. It's how you define people as legends as well.
If you'd had that vote, and in the 1970s. Waddle would have, early 30s, Waddle would have won it because he was fresh for a player and became a manager, and people would have looked at it. But if you have it, and when you have it, is paramount. It's a hard one to judge, but I get you. Stevie, in you come. Gaza, legend.
Honestly, yep, he's a legend for me because he can play the flute. 100% he's a legend. Get him in there. Yep. And I like these hairdos too. Was the shine and all haircut, Gaza? Listen, we've got to be honest. Gaza was, you hear people saying, oh, he was world class and he was world class. Gaza, at that particular time in his career, at one point in his time, he was world class player. He was messing with the big boys. He was up there, maybe getting nominated for maybe the Ballon d'Or, if that's what it was called back then. But 100% for me, Gaza was a world class player who came to Rangers for 2.5 years. And he won games single-handedly for us. Single-handedly. I mean, the game at Parkhead in the Cup, I remember that against Hearts. Aberdeen at Ibrox. That was games he just picked the game up with a scruff of the neck and just won it. Just took it out of everybody's odds and went and won them. And a character, a generous character. And to this day, Gaza's known worldwide, a worldwide brand and a worldwide loved guy. And for me, I know he was only there 2.5 years, but his success and part of 9-0 team, as Southside says, but I would give him it just for his flute ability.
Flute ability. Is that a word?
Bounce back ability, sorry. No, I playing the flute that day. I just upset all the other mob, didn't it? The dark side really fell in love with him that day, So that was it.
So you could say hit the notes for you?
Yes, I've written start with a D. D.
Outside.
Aye, 100% what Stevie says. Wonderful, gifted football player. Some of the stuff he done on the football park, turned up in big games, had the ability to take the game with a scruff of the neck and drive forward and control the game. He always wanted the ball. See what he done in the international stage alone as well. That just shows you the ability the guy had. When he even dominated international football at times when he was right on it with the England team. But going back to Rangers, goal at Ibrox against Aberdeen, goals against them at Celtic Park and Ibrox. Europe, probably, we just didn't get it. And I believe we got enough off him, probably been sent off twice in Europe and stuff. But we've seen glimpses of Gaza in Europe, and when he was playing, he was certainly targeted in a Rangers jersey with the opposition because they knew how good he could be. But he was a genius, to be honest, a genius on the ball, mate, and just mad as a hatter. But it was a joy to see him at Glasgow Rangers. It really was. It was just sad.
Was his greatest performance against Aberdeen when the day we won 8 in a row?
Probably for the time it was in the game and that, and the way it was going and what he done. There might be another one I will probably pick out, but that was what he'll be remembered for. Same as a bit like Haitley remembered for the goal against Aberdeen in the header at Ibrox. It's what people remember. But I just a genius, mate. And I still think if we hadn't sold him and David Murray hadn't took the money, I think we get 4.3 million for Middlesbrough. I think if we'd kept him, we would still have won that league that year. I think that had a big effect. Just getting rid of him at that time and the way he was going. I think if we'd kept him, it would have been enough to see his other line.
I've often thought the same myself. All right, we'll get the phone lines opened again. Come and join us. 0141 356 1972. And we're asking the question, is Gaza a legend? It's an easy question, Stevie.
Well, you know my thoughts on the guy now, but listen, I can always remember Walter Smith telling the story about when he was trying to get him from Lazio, wasn't it? He went and he came to a big brown door and he heard a quad coming to the gate, and he shouted to her, "Who is it?" He said, "It's Walter Smith. What are you wanting?" He says, I want you to come and sign for the Glasgow Rangers." And he went like that. "Aye, all right." I mean, that just summed the guy up. No, I mean, you can imagine that conversation getting took through a gate, you know, and then he's opened the gate and given Walter a lift on his quad, and Walter said he didn't go on a straight road. The road was straight, and he took him everywhere. Gaza was just a mental, a guy that loved life. He gave it, I mean, some of the stories, Ox, a brand new set of golf clubs he gave a young boy down at Loch Lomond there, not that far away from the Drumnere. No, and just the stories about his generosity and the crazy stuff.
Whoa. Let's rewind that one. Let's rewind. Southside, listen to this. Loch Lomond is no far away from the Drumnere. Carry on.
Here's Dumbarton.
Well, listen, Bearsden's across the road from me. Silence, eh?
Aye, it is, but right, okay.
Aye, because that's where you in Drumchapel get your furniture for, innit?
Here we go. Here we go. Listen, never mind slagging the drum. You might get into Drumchapel, but you'll never get.
And you know how we'll end up drowning in Loch Lomond.
Duck Bay Marina, actually. Duck Bay Marina. But listen, what a guy Gaza was. And, you know, the stories, I mean, they're the Hearts game at Parkhead. I mentioned it earlier on, the cup final. Him and McCoy's a wee set down the park. He's not having such a great game. He goes up his there, has a double brandy in the players' lounge with his strip, and then goes down and plays the second half the game of his life, and single-handedly won the cup. Scored another 2 goals. Good night, Vienna. Teddy Bears have got their name in another cup. That's the kind of guy. That's what he kind of brought, and all the funny stuff and all the stories. Just wow, what a guy! A whirlwind of a guy, and he'll tell you himself. And all the things that I've watched, he would do the 4.5 years he was with Rangers, or 4 years.
2.5.
2.5, was it?
You should remember that.
Right enough. That's a good number, that, isn't it? But anyway, he said he would do it all again. He said he would do the years hour and hour and hour again if he could. He said he loved it.
We loved him. I loved every minute of watching Gaza. He just, he always done things that were just different. He made things happen. He was powerful. He was also a team player, Stevie.
Oh, aye. And by the way, he wasn't shy in a tackle, old Gaza, no.
No.
He'd get into games for you, get right in about it, But he was just a good, he was a midfielder, man. I don't know how to explain it, but see, when he wanted, he could win you any game. He could win you any game. When the chips were done, even if he was injured coming off the bench, there was always a chance he would win you the game. He was just outstanding, man. And I remember when he first came, man, there wasn't a Wayne and Drumchapel that never had blonde hair. Honestly, everybody was dyeing their hair and everything. I always remember that, the first eyebrows.
I remember a relation with your wife done the same thing, and it turned a certain aquamarine blue.
Aye, nicotine yellow.
It went green. It was comedy gold, mate. Comedy gold. Anyway, aye, Gaza, top player. But I'd be interested to see what people think. Is he a legend? Because the Southside's point about longevity, he was there. We won 8 in a row, and then we won the League Cup that year. And did we win the League Cup that year? No, we won the league and the Scottish Cup. And the next season we won the League Cup and the league, And then the next year we won anything. And things unravelled a wee bit. But I also agree with Southside. It might have gone through the line. He might have been able to get us a couple of points because he had that in his locker, Stevie.
Aye. I always remember the goal at Parkhead. I always remember that when he first came, his first game. And the wee the boggies there, and they just lifted it out of the goal line. Ran out to the corner at that time. I think the old Chamber of Secrets was getting done up. And the Bears were in that corner to the left, and off what that? It just dinked it out of keeper as if it was there. Just world class, mate. And I keep getting back to it. I know he was only there a couple of years, but man, he's definitely a Rangers legend. I mean, come on.
It's whether you accept Southside's point. What he done for us when he was there, 4 trophies, England cap, kept us in the limelight, the brand, the worldwide recognition, Gaza. I get all that, but if you accept, and I'm not saying I do accept, it's whether you accept what's longevity. He was only raised 2.5 years. Yeah,
I get that. Let's get the punters and let
them decide. And we'll also we'll get a wee Facebook poll going after we have the tune. It's a simple yes or no. Is Gaza a legend? Yeah, a Rangers legend, because let's be honest, Gaza is a legend, Steve Yenny.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Gaza's a football legend. But the question we're asking is a Rangers legend. For me, it's a big yes.
And Southside?
He's a legend for me, mate.
Aye, man.
Just longevity, I would like more, obviously, but in the short spell, you've got to say what he won and the success he had and what he brought to the club. Aye.
Yeah, I get that. It's a valid argument, but aye. It's special memories of Gaza, Southside?
Probably the day he signed, to be honest.
All right.
People were doing it at Ibrox and that, aye.
Is that the biggest budget you've ever seen for somebody signing?
Paul Gascoigne, that boy came out into aye, that time, aye, superstar, wasn't he?
Aye, I agree. Stevie?
Best memories for me was him playing the flute and booking a referee. Magic. Mind that game against him? He drops his yellow card. Gaza finds it, runs up to the ref, books him. The ref takes it off him and books him. Even the Hibs players were out at the ref going, "Are you kidding us?" But anyway, that's just the SFA for you. I hope Bridgeman's not listening because he'll start him off. But anyway, for me,
what about the Bull Bridge, yeah?
What?
I didn't know that penny ticket could get you to the Canary Islands.
Well, apparently, what I've heard is he texted me saying, "Stevie, I've been to the Canary Islands here and I've not seen one canary." He says, "Next year I'm going to go to the Virgin Islands."
He's been 6 months he's been trying to get that guy against Southside.
Aye, if he wants to go on holiday, he wants to go and see Skipper and sort him out with some venues.
Skipper was in top form on Saturday night and all.
He went to the
We'll be joined by Blue Star. Evening, Blue Star.
Evening, Oxtier. Evening, Southside. Evening, Big Stevie.
All right.
How you doing, guys?
All right.
How you
doing? Starting off, talking about DJ Ox, for me, there's no comparison. And I was the same as the rest of us. I was at every game. I seen Hateley in his pomp. I seen DJ in his best games. The one enigma that really annoyed me at the time with DJ in 77, 78 when he went with the Scotland squad under Ali McLeod. He was a top goal scorer in Britain at the time, and the character wouldn't put him on when we needed goals. And at that time, I don't know about yourself, but I certainly was one of the ones that had a permit on. I think everybody followed. It's like Stevie talking about Gaza with all the kids with the blonde hair. I didn't do that right enough, but I certainly got a permit at the time. I think most of the footballers and every supporter had them too.
There's no many perms left amongst us now, is there?
Oh, I know. But talking about DJ, you're on about legends. Undoubtedly, DJ's a legend. We all know that. His longevity, and as Southside says, and yourself, as you've said in the past, if you take away the games that he played at centre half and he'd only played up front, Super Ali wouldn't even get near his goals. We all know that because DJ for scoring was phenomenal. You only had to put a ball in that area, and it didn't matter how many defenders were there. DJ was exceptional in there, and I always mind listening to the so-called Lisbon Lion captain, and he tells you straight before he passed away, and he says, most dangerous guy ever in the air, ever, he says, that I played against, he says, was Derek Johnson, and that says it all, and he was. Going to Gaza, for me, it's the same scenario, and he's 2.5 years, he crammed a lot, and he certainly did. He won games on his own, there's no doubting that. When you use the word legend, Southside's right, there has to be a bit of realism there has to be a bit of longevity. Certainly, I suppose, if you looked in what he done on in Africa, he probably crammed in a lot more than 2.5 years. But for me, brilliant, absolutely brilliant, fantastic player. Legend, no. But if you're taking in his character, his lifestyle and everything else, if you take that in, I suppose you could say he's a legend. But on the sheer football, brilliant, fantastic, superstar. But no, he's not a legend at my club. Not for me, because he wasn't there long enough. There has to be a bit of longevity for me. There has to be.
I think Gaza's a football legend, and it's up for debate. Yeah, you're right. What he done at the club. I mean, I think we all enjoyed every minute. You know, he was with. But,
absolutely.
You know, but listen, a certain generation will never forget Gaza. But
it's the same going on to the night we had Ox. We were listening to Gordon Smith. No, I'm a bit like yourself, and I know you know them well. I'd heard all of these stories many times before, and I feel a bit sorry for the likes of Smith. Gordon Smith played in a side. Yes, he had some good players running about him, but Gordon Smith was a fabulous player just the same. And I think a lot of the fans, they go for Gaza and they'll say he was a legend simply because it was a 9-0 area. And Big Steve is right. It depends on your age group too. But Gordon Smith was an absolute fabulous player. So much so that's why he played for us on two different occasions. He was a great player. He really was. You think of some of the things Smith done on his own. He had plenty of skill and tricks, and he knew where the goals were. So I feel a bit sorry for him sometimes, simply because he get broken up with the two different stints. But there's no doubt about it. Smith was a class player in his own right, you know.
Mm-hmm. Aye, and he left for economic reasons, as he pointed out on Saturday evening. You know, he didn't want to leave the club. You know, which,
yeah.
And then, as you know, you speak to him, his passion for the club shines through. Just to let you know, so far, it's pretty much 95% yes for Gaza being a legend, and one vote against, and that's Andy Felix. But he's struggling to say whether John Gregg, Davy Meiklejohn are legends, if you know what I mean. They didn't tackle hard enough Southside.
Listen, Gaza was Gaza. You can say, is he a legend as a football player? Right? I mean, if you probably went round the whole of Britain and said Paul Gascoigne, an England legend or an English player in modern football in the last while, he was a world class. He's top of his game. They would probably say aye, but like Blue Star says, and I'll say he was a genius. You know, he just doesn't have the longevity. But if you add in he's successful, like you said, he won his that game against Aberdeen. He's having big moments in games. Blue Star, I don't know if you heard, but I said, like, count your trophies, count your medals, what you've done in big games, longevity, and have you respected the club in the whole time you've been here? And I think that's my idea when I look at a legend as a player that's played for a club.
All right, we'll come back to this. Get yourselves on mute, because we're going to have a tune.
They said to me, are you going to keep season long ago. I'm trying to meet people seem to have information, try to do that. And I can't do fucking the Liverpool try to talk and try to get a meal and all that stuff.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
All right, okay. Listen, I don't think there's any right or wrongs to these answers. I agree with both Star in some respects about Gazza's 2.5 years, but the time he was Ways, he was a legendary player for the 2.5 years. And, you know, I don't know if there's a right or wrong, but right here I'm going to throw one to you in, right? Since we've done this road with Gaza, who was a better player for us in his time, Ways? Gaza or Laudrup?
Laudrup for me, hands down.
Southside.
I'd probably pluck for Laudrup and all, to be honest. Plus, he was never sent off and let us down. Saying that, last season he wasn't very good, was he, when he wanted to go to Chelsea? But for three seasons anyway, Laudrup was absolutely outstanding.
Stevie?
Laudrup. 100% Laudrup. Brian Laudrup. What a player. What a player. Honestly. Had you in the end of your seat, so did Gaza, right enough, but I just think Brian Laudrup was overall just a better player for us.
All right, so we're saying that the 2 years, in the 2.5 years that Gaza was there, Laudrup outshone him. Is that what we're saying? Southside first.
Well, he was Mr. Consistent anyway, Laudrup, for a long, long time in the games. He didn't, although, as I said earlier, when Gascoigne was there, the team didn't do themselves justice in the European games. They let themselves down quite a bit. Paul Gascoigne did on a couple of occasions by getting sent off. But for me, I still keep Brian Laudrup ahead of Paul Gascoigne, although Paul Gascoigne had some amazing moments in the Rangers jersey and stuff, but can't deny it. But Brian Laudrup, mate.
I think Gaza sold more papers than Laudrup, you know. But I just think overall, I think the two of them were world-class players, you know. I mean, Laudrup done it, won the European Championships for his country and everything else. I just thought when he came, what a player Laudrup was, what a touch. And he was, but he went by players as if they weren't there. And against him, he ripped him apart. Laudrup ripped him apart all the time. I just, for me, just Brian Laudrup, two different characters, maybe how they lived away for the game, but I just thought Brian Laudrup, for me, over the piece was, he was a better player.
If you're comparing them as characters, you've got me, Blue Star, Southside, gentlemen, nice guys, upstanding, and then there's you. You know, that's the difference between Laudrup and Gaza, you know what I mean?
That's a disgrace saying that on air.
That's my wing, man. That's no fair.
That's an absolute disgrace. That's because I brought Ellen Road up, by the way.
He's getting a dig in at you, mate. I
That's
know.
another thing I'm getting in the chance of saying.
He's the guy that thought Herrera was going to be a player. So there you go, Stevie.
I don't think that's quite what I said. Yeah,
Good movement, you said, didn't you?
he did have good movement in that one game. Anyway, here's a guy who'll put the record straight. We've been joined by our Bobby. Evening, Bobby. Or he's not on here. Nico. How we doing, Bobby?
Evening of. So this interesting your debate there about Gascoigne.
Aye.
Well, to me, whether he's been there 2.5 years or whatever, to me the guy was a legend. He was.
Yeah.
He's got everybody. He had everybody on their feet, and in 30 years' time, everybody will remember Gaza. There's 2 people I've seen play for Rangers were match winners on their own. Gaza was one. Loudrup, he was other. They could take the game and say, "I'll win it myself." I have never seen anybody like Gaza or Loudrup that can do that. And also, he was a gentleman. I used to walk Ivers, the cleaning the stands, and it was absolute pelt of rain one day. And in those days, they used to go down the track. And the bold Gaza took his jacket off one night and shouted, "Here, wee man, put that on, that'll keep you warm." And I thought, and he was also generous. He used to give us like £10 and say, go and get yourself a drink. Well, to me, that's a legend. He was outstanding. He took the game with Aberdeen with the scruff of the neck, scored a hat trick. He took the game at Parkhead against Hearts with the scruff of the neck and scored 2. He also took the game to Celtic and ran the whole length of the park and put in a wonderful header. To me, he was a genius, but a genius can also be a legend. It doesn't matter how long you've been at a club, you can be a legend.
Aye, well, Bobby, aye. Nobody's going to change your mind, mate. I mean, I think we enjoyed every minute. And have we still got the jacket?
No, I've not got a jacket now.
Aye, listen.
I was McEwen's Lager one.
All right, okay.
It's full of McEwen's Lager.
It was.
I mean, there was a golden period with it too. I mean, people, they wanted to see them, Blue Star. Eh? People wanted to see them, didn't they?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, they were legends in the sense for being characters alone. I mean, Gascoigne at that time, he was a bit like Gerrard, a world class name in Britain. I mean, nobody touched Gaza for popularity, etc. So, I mean, we had him at that time. And then, as I say, when we signed him, he came in with that bleached blonde hair, and all the barbers were all running, making a fortune because all the kids wanting it. He was an out-and-out character. So, from that point of view, he was the money that he must have brought into our club alone must have been astronomical at that time. Football games for style and everything. He had it all. So did Loudrup. Loudrup was a far more quieter guy, obviously. Gascoigne was an extrovert, but his own teammates and everything all loved the bones of him, and so did the fans. So at that time, it was just a golden era, wasn't it?
Aye, it definitely was. I remember. It's Jamie. She tried to explain to my wee boy how lucky I was, the players I seen. Gaza, Loudrup, no. I mean, you could get through quite a few, but they're the guys that stuck out, man. And as you said, legend, everybody wants to be like a legend. And the Waynes went out and dyed their hair. Everybody, I loved it. We bought the Predator boots. Gaza wore Predator boots. Everybody was out buying them. It was just unbelievable. And they'll just stick out. I don't care about longevity. I really don't. He was a success at Glasgow Rangers. The 2.5 years he was there. He lifted the whole Rangers support. I loved him and adored him. He won the hearts and minds of the Rangers fans. and so did guys like Laudrup and them. They had you on into your seat. When they got the ball, you thought, right, here we go, he's running at them now. It was unreal.
Southside, I wonder what Gordon Dury thinks of Laudrup. Hat-trick in the cup final.
Aye.
It's known as the Laudrup Cup final.
The Brian Laudrup Cup final, that's right. The thing is, it's as the older these players get, we're going to start running out of legends to actually start filling these spots as they get older. You know, you'll start looking back and going, well, who's available now and who we're putting in or who can still play football. That's how they might need to change it slightly, maybe say Rangers past greats or something, you know. Because legends, sometimes people take it a wee bit more. And you look at a lot of the squad, I mean, there's Gregory Vigneault, no disrespect to him, he came in at a time and played at the club, but when they're calling it legends, Andy Dibble played one first team game, you know. But that's the way it goes, and it was good to see some of the players. I mean, for me, Barry Ferguson, you know, he just epitomises everything about a Rangers captain, a supporter, and how you should play, and a desire to win, and make sure everybody demands the best, sets the standards, doesn't want to get beat, you know, and it gets to the point where you're in a dressing room in Inverness and you turn around to a French guy and say, here, mate, this isn't good enough. No, we're not drawn with Inverness getting beat up here and you think we'll go next week. No one of they spoke out. Might be a bit disrespectful, but there's standards at Glasgow Rangers. And he wasn't getting the standards at the time. He was thinking it was all right to get a draw or a defeat and we'll go again next week. That doesn't happen. That shouldn't happen. You've got to make sure the standards are the way that they are. And that's the way it is at the club.
Can I just take you back to your Andy Dibble comment?
All right, what?
How many games?
He played about 12.
Oh, you're unlucky. It wasn't one. He's famous for one, but I thought we were having an Andy Kennedy moment.
No, he came in. He actually came in the Mark Hateley game that the big game gets sent off and we won it up there. He came in. We made 4 changes that day to go up there and play them. Hateley was one, Dibble was one. I can't remember the other two, but we'd been beat with Dundee United the week before. But aye, he wasn't there long enough. But I'm sure he's got
7
many
games.
7.
7.
He's got 7 games. He's got a 9 in a row tattoo in his arm.
Right, okay. Anyway, we'll be enjoying our good friend, Georgie Logan. Evening, George.
Oh, my big favourite.
How you doing, boys? All right?
All right,
All
Georgie.
the legends are on the night. There you go. There, Bobby. I've called you a legend, Bobby.
What a show you're having tonight, by the way, boys. What a show. Not just I'm not going to feed you like and tell you're training, but when Southside and Stevie is on, he's always getting into these strong debates. He can bring people in and that. And another fantastic one tonight, boys. Absolutely fantastic. And you were talking earlier on. It's about your age hanging. Of course, it is about certain things. For me, Alan McCoist is the greatest ever Ranger as far as I'm concerned. I can people say it's John Gregg and things like that. Alan McCoist for me is just. I just think Alan McCoist is everything. And still to this day, when you hear him on his radio show and things like that, he's everything a Rangers player should be, and a Rangers supporter like Steve was just saying about Barry Ferguson. Alan McCoist just epitomised absolutely everything to do with Rangers. I think he was just class. He's class. I think that's what he needed as a Rangers player. He's legend. I think that's why Alan McCoist for me is the greatest ever. That's my opinion on McCoist, on the greatest ever. Like.
Ah, yeah, fair enough. Where do you stand in the debate, Laudrup or Gaza, mate?
Oh, here we go. This is the best one. This is the one that drew me in the night. I'll tell you that one, because Paul Gascoigne was that the game you were talking about there, the 8 in a row game, is probably the greatest ever personal display I've ever seen in my whole entire life. It was absolutely phenomenal, absolutely sensational that day against Aberdeen. Yep. And I've told you a story about the time when me and the wife had dinner with him, and he was telling us about, he tell Al McLaren, he beat her out face. He said, "Do not pass me that ball again." He said, "Before I kent it," he said, "the ball's at me," and I said, "I'm going through people and putting the one in the back of the pocket." He said, "It was unbelievable, what an experience." So for me, Paul Gascoigne, I just think, and I ken people are saying, but Laudrup done this, and Laudrup was absolutely fantastic. We were absolutely blessed with players, and you can look back, but Paul Gascoigne, the English media had the World Cup on his shoulders. I think he was 23 or 24-year-old or something like that, and they thought he was going to be the one that was going to win it for them. At 23, 24-year-old, going to semi-finals and quarter-finals of World Cups and things like that. And I just spoke to the wife through the number, and she said a good point. People can come to the club as legends, but do they make themselves even bigger legends than the other club? And I think Gascoigne done that. Like, yeah, I think Gascoigne came to the club and everybody was just gripped with the Gascoigne fever, and like Steve was saying, every flip one you seen what about it. They never had hats on anymore. They just had Gaza haircuts just to show they were all. It was absolutely brilliant. I just think Gascoigne was probably the best display I've ever seen in my life is Paul Gascoigne. I think he was just unbelievable. And I tell you about the time, Ox, when we had dinner with him and the wife drew the picture and she went up to get him to sign it, and he can just give me that no bother. He sat and spoke to her for 10 minutes about the picture and things like that. I think things like that go a long, long way off. I think Paul Gascoigne for me was world class, and I think we got to see one of the greatest ever at our club. Like,
I don't think there's a right or wrong in this debate, if that's fair, Southside.
No, there isn't, because, I mean, as you say, as we've said, Paul Gascoigne just could do bits of brilliance. He was a global star in international football, well known. He was followed by the media for a young boy. He had all this potential and he showed it. I just think when we were talking about a goal, remember Laudrup, he flicked the ball through the byline right where Jim Leighton's head into the goal at Ibrox, if you remember. You know, it just came to my head. But Brian Laudrup, forever remembered, scoring at Tannadice, you know, and a header at that as well. George.
His two most important goals were most like headers. He bundled one with the Parkhead and then the row goal.
Aye, and the one he slipped in his arse at Parkhead or Hampden and he ran through and stuck it in the net, I know. My Brian O'Neill or something. But Laudrup had class. He just went by players as if they weren't there. It was something we had never seen before, you know, just a wee shimmy, sidestep, he was gone. And he had a bit of pace about him, but you wouldn't say he was the most physical player that would hold players off or anything like that, because I don't think a player get near him. He just seemed to glide by them. But, aye, the two of them were world-class players for Glasgow Rangers, and that's the way we've got to look at it.
Aye. Glad we've seen them, Bob here. Glad we've seen them.
Oh, I'm glad I've seen them, aye. But to me, Gaza was absolutely out of this world. He had the charisma, he had everything about him, and he got the fans on their feet. Even when he was playing the flute and that, he just had that. He just had that, the charisma to get the Rangers fans on their feet. And I loved the guy. I thought he was one of the best players in his 2.5 years we've ever had at Rangers.
I wouldn't argue with that. Again, it's no a race, Bluestar. It's a disgrace if you finish second, Gaza or Laudrup, is it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. The two of them were just out and out classes. It was just a period of time in our history that was just unspeakable. They'll never be beaten. They were just something else. But the both of them playing in the one team, it didn't matter who we were playing against defence-wise. You knew, even if we went a goal down, 2 goals down, you were never defeated the way it should be. You knew one of them could just win the game themselves. But more often than not, they were always in it, on the one inside. The two of them were just enigmas. They were brilliant. As I say, one, Gascoigne was... At one minute, you didn't know what he was capable of doing. As Southside said, Laudrup was just an elegant player. He was very rarely injured because guys just didn't get near him. He could drift by players as if they honestly weren't there. Gascoigne had to work at it a bit more, but the guy still done it. As I say, that Aberdeen game and that Hearts final, just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Breathtaking at times. Breathtaking.
Aye. I'm trying to think there. I think there's pros and cons for both of them, and consistency. Maybe Laudrup was more consistent, if that makes sense. But Gaza being explosive at times could just explode into a game. I think McCoy said that, didn't he? In some of his interviews, that he had that ability that he'd never seen before. But a great debate. Bluestar. Would the two of them be in your Rangers 11 if you were picking it?
That's a hard one. If you're talking about my old time, going for as far back as I can remember, Laudrup certainly would be for consistency. Gascoigne, you'd him, you'd Durrant, you'd Ferguson. We were lucky in that period of time. It's a hard one, Ox, because if you go even with a 9 in a row side, look at the midfielders. I keep saying the same thing. At that period of time when Ferguson and that was playing, we had the best midfield, absolutely bar none, in the whole of Britain. The English side had a midfield like us. Their substitutes for the walked into your Man U's and your Liverpools at that time. They could hardly get it. Guys like Tugai and everything. They were substitutes for us. So we had so many midfielders at that time that it was breathtaking. It really was. But Gascoigne and Laudrup, they'd been in the squad if they won the team. But there's nobody could argue the point. You could put them in the team, no doubt about it. The two of them were, on their game, the two of them were match winners. They could beat a team themselves, and there's not many players you can say that about. And I agree with George Logan, if you were going in our lifetime, even up to now, there isn't a better standing for our club, bar none, than Super Ali. And we all know that, and it wasn't just his goals. The way he talked about our club, the way he sang after Sandy Jardine, the way he used the phrase, no walking away. There's no one better ambassador for our club than Super Ali. And if you're going with longevity even there, even the way you even hear him talking about our club even now, nobody's better than Ali. So, like for me, Ali would always be up front as well. Tons of players off, but they too. To answer to your question, there's no argument.
I don't think you'll get a debate about that.
To your answer to your question, but they'd be there or thereabouts.
You always get that.
Yeah. But the answer to your question, and I am not, the simple answer is probably aye, because the two of them on their game, they were match winners, undoubtedly.
All right, we've been joined by Stevie Stepkid. How we doing, old David?
I'm doing all right, guys. We bit loaded with the call today, but that's what happens when you get an old duffer like me. Great debate. And Stevie and Suicide were fantastic. These were all, I've said it before, it was outstanding. Stevie was, I said, Stevie, if I could be his manager and get him onto the pavilion, because he's somebody else, absolutely. And I heard Southside saying, this was a cracker, and Southside, you were talking about, I looked nice and dressed and all that, and Southside, you know, look a bit like Burt Reynolds, and my wife shouted, me like Debbie Reynolds. I said, excuse me, dear. But anyway, as usual, it's a top-class show. When we're talking about legends, we've been talking about this before, and I think it shouldn't be called legends, because everybody's got their own way of defining what a legend is. And it should be just Rangers' greatest players. And then would have been no dispute about what he did and what he didn't do. And can I ask you something here while I've got his own? Has James Tavernier been put up to be a legend?
He's on the Hall of Fame. He's on the Hall of Fame.
He's on the Hall of Fame. So if he's on the Hall of Fame, is he a legend?
That's open for debate, isn't it? That's open for debate.
Well, there you are.
That's open for debate.
I mean, we're talking about Gascoigne. And that guy couldn't lace Gascoigne's boots.
Never said he could, mate. Never said he could. But however, if they penalties go a different way, Southside, James Tavernier is a legend, isn't he? Oh, hello, Southside. He's a wee checking out Debbie Reynolds. Stevie, if they penalties go a different way.
Look, man, see when you're talking about Gaza and James Tavernier, I'd still get to Gaza because he can play the flute, though. But You've got to James Tavernier's stats, man. Come on, he's nearly 100 games for Rangers, isn't it? Oh no, 100 goals, sorry, and many games. I don't know. It's what he's done for a right back is what can't speak can't lie. When it's on paper, it's nobody's touching that. Nobody's touching that at all. Should he be on the Hall of Fame? I suppose the boy's been there for the run right through, for the third division right through.
No for me, or Stephen Davis. Let them finish their time. Let them all finish their time. I think let them finish playing. That's
Plus Ox, he played 4 years. You've got to put things in perspective. He was 4 year and lower divisions. He's not against it. He wasn't against the top talent. I'm not taking anything away from him. But I totally agree with you on that one. You've got to wait till a guy's he's had his time finished. Do you know what I mean? That's just wrong in my eyes, definitely.
But I mean, it's coming up, and Tavernier, if they penalty kicks go a different way, we looked at differently in our club, historically. Alan McGregor, Stephen Davis, their longevity, the 2 spells with our club, and the number of games they've played for our clubs, their eyes will be known as Rangers greats. People think they're good players, good goalkeepers, bad goalkeepers, great midfielder. That's open for debate. But it's sort of to do with people's opinions. But their longevity in the club, Southside, points them to being awards legends.
I don't think he's back, is he?
No, I don't think he's back. He's maybe on pause. George Logan, thoughts?
That's when you were saying there a minute ago about the all-time greatest 11 Ox, and you're saying about legends. I think James Tavernier's been fantastic for the club and things like that, but I don't think he comes into the same sort of bracket as the guys we're just talking about there. Absolutely not a chance. I mean, if you were to name I would imagine 9 out of 10 of the name are all-time greatest 11, and James Tavernier's era would be in it as well. Obviously, we're all here the now, so he wouldn't be in my all-time 11. Whereas Gascoigne, Loudrop, in fact, my midfield would be Gascoigne, Loudrop, Barry Ferguson, David Cooper. So guys like James Tavernier and Steve Davis, they wouldn't get in it. Like Ken, great players for the club and things like that. But Hall of Fame and legends and that probably no quite for me yet. And that's just my opinion.
Yeah. Bobby, thoughts?
Well, that could be for another programme, Robs. That's very interesting. Name your favourite, your best Rangers legends 11, and you would get all different people. But no, for me, James Tavernier, no.
If they penalty kicks would have went a different way, he would have been a legendary status at our club, Bobby.
But you're forgetting, a lot of Rangers supporters are, especially when he plays against that mob, will boo him because he's they're taking the ball by him. But if you were naming your Rangers greatest legends 11, James Tavernier would never get in it.
Never said that, Bobby. I agree with you totally. But if they penalty kicks had went the other way, mate, he would have been legendary status with our club because he'd been lifting that trophy.
He might be a legendary status, but I'll tell you one thing, Obs. See, in 30 years' time, with the young team supporters, they'll not remember James Tavernier, but they'll certainly remember Gascoigne and David Cooper and all that, yet they've never seen them. So, to me, that's what legends are.
Correct.
If you win the big games, Will Scott Wright be remembered for that goal? No, I'm not going to ask that question.
He'll not even be remembered for being a Europa League final.
No. In 30 years' time, Bobby, when people are talking about name the team, that'll be the one they'll struggle to get, won't it?
Oof, aye.
Aye. Well, I'm not saying Tavernier's my greatest right back, Bruce Bluestar and then George. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, just a flick of a coin, it went a different way. that image of him lifting that trophy would have been iconic for our club.
Absolutely. But there's another way of looking at it, Ox. Would it have been signed in the first place if we hadn't been doing the divisions? Probably not.
No.
So, you've got to look at it in perspective. Has he done great for the time he's been there? Of course he has. You can't take that away from him. Longevity-wise, whether he was doing the lower divisions or not, he still held his place, rightly or wrongly. Has he made plenty of mistakes? Aye, numerous. But his stats going forward are exceptional. They really are. But as I say, 4 years of them when he was in lower divisions. When you're talking about legendary status,
he only played one year in the lower division for us, mate, with Bob.
Well, one. But I mean, he I don't know if you're talking about legends. I suppose if you're looking at the present staff, aye, he's a legend. But that's no hard to say because of the present company he's with. Mm-hmm. If you're talking about the players for the past, no, he's not in that calibre. He's just no.
No. George?
I mean that would have changed it. Of course, that would have changed it. That game would have definitely changed it, in my opinion. I mean, I think it would have been all part of the rebuild, all part of that. Of course, it would have. I think that would have changed a bit. You're talking about players who you'll probably not remember the players in 30 years' time. Of course, you've got to remember Gascoigne and Laudrup and all these guys. Of course, yeah. But I mean, whatever if the UEFA Cup in Manchester already, 15 years roughly for the UEFA Cup in Manchester. And me personally, I probably could still mention the name like that. There's a couple of guys like Kurt Broadfoot in that as well, who I remember played in the UEFA Cup final as well. But I think because he would have came for that cup, the last one we were in, would have maybe that wee bit better for us to have won that. I think the team were beating the Knights we had against Dortmund. I mean, we were talking about Leeds in that earlier on, and they were all fantastic tonight. I wasn't at the Leeds game, but I'm sure it was a fantastic night, and I heard the Southside saying the atmosphere was unbelievable. But I think the Dortmund game was probably in my opinion, was probably the greatest ever atmosphere at a football game I've ever seen in my lifetime, and I probably ever will. So I think that would have just been that bit extra special, and I think that would have probably put the guys right up there forever.
What would the lights up again, George? The semi-final?
Yeah.
Sorry, Ox?
What about the semi-final against Leipzig?
You know? I think that was as well, Ox. I think that was, but I think after beating Dortmund, we sort of started to believe it, if you know what I mean, Ox. Then I think when you put these teams, you're starting to believe it, and you think there's every wee bit of a chance here. But the night against Leipzig was unbelievable as well. These nights will live with me for a long, long time, Ox. In fact, I'll remember the nights longer than I'll remember guys like James Tavernier and things like that, Ox. I lifted the 55th title in that for us, and that's got to go along. Like Rangers, we should be lifting trophies every single year, Ox. So the next couple of years, I'd like to think we've got to start lifting league titles again, more regular than we have been. So whoever's the captain then, whenever this is going to happen, because I can't see James Tavernier being there for an awful long time. I think they'll be more remembered than the 55th team, I'll be honest.
All right, we've been joined by Bob J. Evening, Bob J.
Evening, everyone. How are we doing tonight, lads?
Hey, good, mate. What's on your mind, Bob?
I hear you discussing the European run there. It was great, wasn't it? And what frustrated me was that we'd beaten better teams than Eintracht Frankfurt on the way to the final. And they were there for the taking the final. And just a wee bit lapse in concentration and defending cost us that trophy. So I'm old enough to remember every Rangers European final. And that was one that we should have won. But we've been in 5 and we've lost 4. So whether I'm going to be able to live to see them in another European final, I don't know. I certainly hope so. So, but you never know, eh?
We blew 2, Bob Jera.
Well, which other one did we blow? The one against St. Petersburg?
No, I think they deserve to beat us on the night. I think maybe when Bayern meet us in Nuremberg, mate, I think we could have won that game.
What, the one in 67? Oh, yeah. Didn't they catch that? Aye. Oh, aye. We must. I think I've said this to you before that he made a mistake. He had Jimmy Miller sitting on the stand that night, and he went and played Big Roger Hind at centre forward, and that just didn't work. Did not work. And they had set Meyer on his knees, and he blasted the ball straight out. I'm all right, that happens. Maybe he scores every time, but Rangers should have won that game that night. They were the better team. Aye. We did blow that, and we blew that one against Eintracht Frankfurt as well. But that's all part of Rangers in Europe.
Aye. Yeah. Memories. When we come on here tonight, we were meant to have a Michael Beale interview and talk about other things. So said, you just don't know what it's going to take you, do you?
No, you don't. No. And it's like, we're talking about, they're saying two players, we've counted Gascoigne and Laudrup, you know. I count somebody like Ian Ferguson, a Rangers legend, you know. Been an unsuccessful leader, didn't cause any problems off the park, and they were successful and had longevity. And I see somebody like him as doing as a Rangers legend in my eyes.
Without a doubt, mate. All day long and twice on a Sunday. Yeah, Bobby.
I seen Big Richard Goff as a legend for us. He was a stalwart. He kept on telling players, fight. To me, that's good enough for me. I like the big guy, but he's not going to make the headlines because he's a defender. We're looking for sulky players to put on. But you should bring that programme up and get the panellists and to dig out the greatest Rangers are living. That would be a right good debate.
Oh, but there's a panellist trying to do that. He's on at the back end of the week, and I might let him do it just for you, Bobby.
Right.
Right. We'll leave it at that. Yeah.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah. But you come on with yours. I'll give you time to work it out, mate.
Oh, well, yes, I'll be burnt out first thing in the morning. I'm on it, Hobbs.
Yes, mate.
This might be my last week on here for a wee while. It's not that I've left you. It's just that I'm moving. I'm going back and forward. So you might not hear me for a couple of weeks till I move in. Okay, mate?
You're moving to near Loch Lomond, is that right?
Exactly. How do you know that?
Yeah, I've got my spies, Bobby.
Well, it's not near Loch Lomond. Nowhere near it.
Well, we were told the night south side that Drumchapel was near Loch Lomond, weren't we?
Why we were.
How do you know that?
Listen, Bobby, there's no secrets on here, pal. Right?
Yeah, I'm moving to Drumchapel, mate, yeah.
Well, you're moving to my territory. You'll be well looked after, sir, okay?
Okay, mate.
I'll meet you up at the Valley.
Loch Lomond Shire, you're moving to.
Yeah, mate, you find it alone here, don't you?
Bobby, I don't want to, but no, we cannot keep a secret on here, but you told us a few weeks ago.
Did I?
How did you know?
I actually got a house here now, mate. Aye, I'm just getting it decorated to move in and get out of this East End hellhole.
Here, Bobby, you get yourself back. You get yourself back, really, Trump.
Look, moving from one burnt out skip to two burnt out skips, no bad.
Should move aside me, Bobby, because the window cleaner goes about with a sander.
I suppose the good thing about Drumchapel, you're not that far away from Partick, Bobby.
You're not that far away. Not that far away from the tower and the double O, so I'll be all right.
A lot of good people in there. A lot of good people in their places, mate. I can vouch for that myself. Big Steve.
Of course there is. I've been in it before, mate.
Don't doubt you have, Bobby. We know everything about you, Bobby. There's nothing we
So that's all I'm going to say. I'll probably be off next week for a couple of weeks. So Hey, mate.
Just put your sick line into HR, Bobby. You'll be all right.
Bobby, we even know that margarine you like Flora.
Aye, I think he gets that as well. That's the best margarine, aye.
Oh dear. I'm even knew about your tattoo, Bobby.
But it's no Miko because it's not there.
Oh, you've got to laugh all day, ain't you? You've got to laugh.
That's what makes this show, innit? I mean, and when I went there on Saturday, I've been to Barcelona. I'm telling the guys some stories about this, and that's what the greatest thing of being a Rangers supporter is getting to be able to speak with you guys. And I've been to some great nights, but I'll tell you that one there, and I think I explained it to you without sounding corny. That was one of the best nights I've had in the company of Blue Noses, because I know there's a lot of people say in life, you only get what you see, you're only that, what you see is what you get, and that's what you guys were. What you seen is what you go. It was fantastic.
It's a good laugh, Bob. Didn't we, David? It's a good laugh, man.
I never stopped laughing at you. You had me in stitches, Stevie. I couldn't even eat my tatties for you. You were on your pudding when I was eating my tatties.
I had to get into your bag to get the salt and pepper out, Davey. David Bobby, I'm getting mixed up. It was a great wee night.
Stevie, you've got a very, very infectious laugh, I'm telling you. And that means that to have that in life is a wonderful thing. And I'm sure it generates to all the bears on the shows that are listening to that, because you can tell the way you talk what your feelings are, and that to me means a lot in a person. And I take my hat off to you.
You finished all that chocolate?
Chocolate? Aye, I know.
All that chocolate?
I've still got some left.
Right, okay. George, this show, we're doing sometimes we're not scripted all the time, usually the football debate. International breaks are tough for us. But come on tonight, we're going to be talking about Michael Beale, and we've not even get on it.
Aye. Never change. Never change. I mean, that's the great thing about the show tonight. And you bring up I don't even know who it was that brought up the question. I don't even know how it came up about Gascoigne and Laudrup, and you go into Gascoigne and Laudrup and greatest Rangers, and everybody's got their different stories and their different eras, and you with your game getting punched in the face at Ellen Road and things like that. I mean, that story goes down all the time, Ox, and everybody's got their different stories, and there's never, and the thing is, Ox, people didn't tell the same stories twice. You hear it, and then before you can, you're aware into something different. Big Southside's got his stories, Stevie's got his stories, Stevie's laddies now giving him stories about doing at Anfield and things like that. Ox, and it's one big, it's all about Rangers, and that's just a great thing about it. I mean, we could honestly go on and on and on and talk about it forever, and then you've got another show tomorrow now to speak about Michael Beale tomorrow now, so it's fantastic, Ox. I could just listen to you all the time, honestly, I could.
It's the people like George and Davey and Bobby's became one of our characters. Another Bob here. They make the show Southside Butter.
100%. It's the callers that make the show. It's them that come on, and we're hoping that they'll bring a bit extra debate or say, no, we're talking nonsense or disagree with us, basically, and have their view, which we like to hear. Everybody's got a valid opinion. We probably don't always agree with it sometimes, but that's how we all see football. We could all sit together in a row and watch the game on Saturday. We'll probably see a lot of it that we'll agree with, but there'll be a lot of it we'll not agree with. And that's just the fascination of watching a football team and your own opinion and your own debate on it. And like you said, I think you had an idea you were maybe going to talk about Michael Beale earlier, but there's nothing really scripted, like you said, apart from after games and stuff when we critique it. It's just where the show takes us, and it's good that he's a phoned on in the night and helped promote the show and helped add that bit to it, which is all valid.
Excuse me.
Aye.
Stevie, yes, mate.
I've just had a text from Gaza asking where Jaffa get his tweed suit from.
Oh, geez. Must have been the Brigade. No offence, Jaffa, no offence, Jaffa, no offence.
You were sitting right
I'm
next to him.
Aye. No, I'm laughing at Davey. He's still had the coat hanger on it.
You never get any pudding off of Jaffa, Davey, did you?
Actually, he turned his back against me so I couldn't see what he was eating. Nah, I'm only kidding. They're fantastic, mate. I'll take that in my game with me, guys.
Shut up. You're doing this now. Somebody said, he said the best night ever. What was it, Southside? Said to you, must have some honeymoon.
No, that's very true.
You keep telling them. It's because you were sitting with me. By the way. Tell them the truth.
Oh, Stevie, you were a star. Absolutely star. You blew me away. The only thing I was disappointed with was I thought you were better looking.
Southside, tell me the truth. You had to put me, Stevie, because nobody else would take him at their table. Tell me the truth.
No, I'll tell you, you'll probably get to the castle now, Davey. I know, you'll be taking you up to this castle he took me to and that, but you get what you see with the big man, you know, he's a top banana, he's passionate about the Rangers, he's kind-hearted, he's honest, and that's all you want, you know, that's all you do when you meet people. You take them at face value and you get to know them. And unless he does me a bad turn in life, then he'll probably be a pal forever. And that's the way it works. And I wouldn't expect him ever to do a bad turn because I don't think it's even in his nature. So you get people how you find them, Davey. And it was good. I enjoyed meeting Blue Star. Blue Star phones in all the time. And it was good to put a face to him as well. I think I was actually sitting on his seat when he came talking to Jim from Tennessee. And then I realised a better move. But it was good to meet yourself, Davey, and also Blue Star and see the rest of the people that turned up, you know.
Great words.
Right, okay. Enough about that Saturday night. It's gone. It was great. It was fantastic. And we were really glad that you turned up, Davey. You helped make one night. But we have to look forward. Bobby, you're looking forward to the football coming back at the weekend, mate.
Yeah. I can't be bothered watching Scotland. No, that's not for me. I'm looking forward to seeing the Rangers again. Yeah. 100%.
Bob Jen, I know it was a great result for our national team last night, but it's quite sad. We've not got the greatest interest in it as Rangers supporters for a lot of reasons. But however, looking forward to the football coming back.
Absolutely. I can't be bothered with this either. I'm not a big fan of international football. Fair play to them, they pulled off a good result, okay. But I'll never forget the fact that they never gave Rangers a licence for to play for an hour before the season started. But that's by the by, that's gone. It's the Rangers I love, know them. And I'm really looking forward to it. Can I say this to you, I've phoned in Rangers Radio for quite a while now. I can't put a figure on it. Phoned in quite a while. And I can never remember 1 second of time I didn't enjoy it. It's been absolutely fantastic. And it will continue to be so. That's what I think.
We enjoy having you on, Bob, and I'll tell you the messages we got on when we couldn't get a hold of you was it shows you how fun people are. And you mentioned them regular, didn't you?
Aye, 100%, Bob Ger. You know, I liked it when you first phoned in the show and that. And like you say, I can struggle to remember things, and I used to think you used to pull things out the hat, and I enjoyed listening to you. So, while you were missing for a while, you were certainly well thought about, mate.
Aye, well, that's great. That's fantastic. And I thought about you as well. When I was lying in that bloody hospital looking at a clock going round. I was waiting on an execution. Well, maybe it was. But, fantastic radio, mate.
All we've got to do is shake off all Davey and the show will be fine.
Hey guys, thanks for your phone. I enjoyed your company. See you later. No, I'm only kidding. I've never the best show in town. See, regarding the internationals, I'd just like to say one thing regarding that. See anybody who boos a Rangers player playing for Scotland,
Yes.
have no time for them. No time whatsoever. And that's the difference between when I watched Scotland when I was younger to what that mob's like now. And that's no right booing the Rangers, man. That just does not wash with me.
Yeah, and you come, Stevie.
I was just going to say, my international career is one game, and I'll tell you how it came about, by the way. My friends were over by Northern Ireland, were playing Scotland at Hampden. I think it was the last time they were there. And the boy says, Mum, we've got a spare ticket. Mum, come up with end with us. I said, they bother. He said, grab your flute. Happens me. I'm way up the back of the Northern Ireland end with a tin flute, giving it Yahoo, by the way. And do you know what really upset me that night? Northern Ireland, when they blasted the Queen out of Tartan Trannies, booed it, by the way, and then that's when I knew I was storming with the right people on the right end. And see what Davey said there, anybody that boos Rangers players, the party's over for me. I don't even take an interest in it. And by the way, see my dad, Charles McGregor McPherson, he'll be beeling at the fact that I'm not a Scotland fan or anything down the line, because he'll be... He loved these Rangers, he loved his national team, like many does, but it's changed days now. See, when the Scotland trannies get political about letting immigrants in and all this with banners at football, it's done for me, Ox. Absolutely done for me, and I'm sorry. I didn't even watch the game the other night. It was my boy who was telling me 1-0, 2-0, and let me know about it. I don't even take an interest in them. But I've been to one international game, and it was one each. The Ulster men v Scotland, and I was standing in the right end, so I was with the troops.
I think it's the political situation in Scotland. It's let's just say divided support and divided opinion, but you never know. Things could change back again, because imagine Davies' generation or the Wembley trips or the things that happened going to watch Scotland with what you done, Davy.
Yeah, there's definitely. Well, it's a different generation, so, and we all know whether the alliances lead, they all hate the Rangers.
Yeah.
Right. We don't care.
No one likes us, we don't care. Right, I've only one thing to say to you, Davy. You have a nice birthday and come on after it and tell us how you got on, all right?
Yes, you're really just... That's no words for you guys. You're just fabulous.
All right. I think George still waits, George?
Aye.
Last word of the night, George. Over to you, mate.
Absolutely fantastic show tonight, Ox. Honestly, you're brilliant. You can keep it going forever. I mean, you're talking about things like that, and then even the other night there, you just drove in me things like Barry Ferguson played 80 games with Chris Boyd, and last night 32 games for 32 goals for Jermaine Defoe. People shouldn't know these kind of things, Ox, but he's dropped these things all the time. It's absolutely fantastic. So didn't ever change. Keep doing what you're doing. Brilliant show, boys.
Good Bobby, or Miko as we call him. Or the game is Sunday name, Mikhailichenko. On you go, Bobby boy.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed the pro. I enjoyed the programme. I always enjoy the programme. I wait to 8 o'clock every night and see what you're talking about, and I say, right, I'm coming in there. And it's absolutely great programme, and I like to hear you, Stevie, Southside. You talk a lot of sense, and I love all that. I love talking about the Rangers. So if I'm a caller, it's phoning up because you're talking about things I like. So I'd like to wish you all the best, and you're a great programme for the Rangers. One of the best out of all the Rangers ones, and I've watched a few. So I'd just like to thank you, mate.
No, you're welcome, Bobby. You're part of your show and all, mate. And I hope everything goes all right with your move, mate.
Right,
welcome back to the drum, Bobby.
Bob Jar.
Aye. just reiterate what the boys are saying. Fantastic show. And I'm just like the rest here. We've spoken about Rangers all our lives, haven't we? And what remains of our life, we'll still talk about the Rangers because we're so near and dear here. And we'll come again. We'll be successful. Great show tonight again, Hawks, for the time I've been on. Absolutely brilliant. And I'll see you in the near future.
Cheers, Bobby. Cheers, Bob Jer. Sorry, Bobby. Bob Jer. Old Davy.
Aye, thanks very much for taking my call, and I meant every word I said there, guys. And you can joke and jest all you like, but it's the best show in town, and it was a pleasure hearing you all again. And I'll see you later, guys. And God bless the Glasgow Rangers. Good night.
Big Stevie.
I'd like to thank Old Davy for reversing the charges. Some man. I'd like to wish Bobby all the best coming back over to the West End. The West End is the best end. Well done. Instead of looking at that McCannell set, the East End. And just thanks very much again, Oaks. What a platform. Great bell zone. And what can I say about my wingman, Southside? Southside, you do know the tickets are out for the semi-final? Use Platinum Boys will be getting.
Yes, I've purchased mine. Yes, that's correct. I've purchased mine. Are you looking for two, like?
You know, I'm always the prowl. But listen, boys, listening in, thanks for having us. Brilliant show, Oxford, and I had to bring up Ellen Road. I love it when you get one picking your chin. Magic.
Still feeling it. That's another food parcel we'll need to take up the road there.
Aye, looks like it. I got a text in earlier, I'll not say who it came from, but they said if you want to increase the charity money, there's a few queuing up in the Paisley Road West Stocks if you want to put your chin up. Anyway. Anyway, well, what a night. It's good to hear Miko and Old Davy and George and Bob Jer. And you never know where this show takes you, mate. We're all passionate about the Rangers and as we want as the Rangers to win. And while we're talking about the greats here, I was just thinking through my head, and if we could get Michael Beale going forward, if we could get, I'm not talking about calibre of players, I'm just saying with determination, if we could get some Richard Goffs and John Browns and Barry Fergusons in our team, Ali McCoist, they type of players, winners, people that put their head on the line and everything for the Glasgow Rangers. They type of players, that's what I'm looking forward to seeing. Hopefully we'll see a new squad of them filling our great club. So thanks for having us on tonight. It was a pleasure to be on with the Iceman across the city. A pleasure again to be on my big mucker Stevie. So thanks very much, mate.
Cheers. Thanks to Bobby, Blue Star, Davey, George, Bob Jer for joining us. Thanks to Stevie and Southside. Always a pleasure, lads. You became the more common wise of Rangers Radio when you get together. It's a pleasure to be on these. Thanks for making the show such good fun, lads. Thanks to Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10 talking about all things Rangers. And as you know, you never know where we'll end up. Take away Old School Blue.